So for today's tutorial, it's basically going to be geared more towards anybody who does want to start dreads. I do want to give you a little before shot of the dreads in his hair. His dreads are completely locked. He just does have a bunch of new growth here, and he does need a retwist. So that's what we're going to go ahead and give him today. I'm going to make sure he leaves this session with a nice fresh set of retwists, nice length, and make sure his scalp is moisturized for the finished result. So to start this process off, I'm going to go ahead and separate his hair into parts just so I don't overwhelm myself, and so I'm able to see the sections that I do need to be doing first, because like I said, his roots are pretty grown out, so I do need to be able to see what pieces of hair are going into each dread and which way I'm going to be parting his hair for the new growth that's not already dreaded in his hair with the initial lock. So I'm going to take this full front piece and I'm just going to go ahead and put it in a ponytail. I'm just going to, save it for later.
Oh,
you have
shit.
a tender head.
Hell yeah. No, like, on some real shit, I'm trying my best not to, like, not make no faces.
So I parted his hair in half. So I do have the dreads that I will be starting with. You can see that this is the growth that he does have from here to here. And this is the initial lock that's already dreaded into the lock itself. I'm gonna go ahead and take out a whole row from the section that I had already created. And then I'm gonna pin it up so I don't have any stragglies getting in my way. For my products, I do use this Murray's Edge Wax to pull all the hair in together, but I also go through and I do use a locking gel or a wax just to make sure that the hair does get locked and waxed together throughout the dread itself, not just at the root. So this is the wax that I use for the root. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and put the mango lime locking wax all throughout his dreadlock to make sure it gets that nice locking texture and that nice locking look. And as a reminder, I do want to let you guys know this process does contribute to the way you will start your locks to begin with. You do have to be willing to be patient with your hair and trust the process. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this full dread. I'm gonna get the Murray's wax and I'm gonna put it on the roots, mainly to just make sure that the parts he has are nice and sleek. And I'm gonna kind of just rub it through the top section. You see we have a nice fresh part up here. All of his hair is nice and laid into this dread. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that locking wax and I'm just gonna rub it all throughout the initial dread. For the retwist process itself, depending on which way you do like your dreads to twist, it's up to you. I typically like to twist mine all to the right because I'm right-handed, so it's easier for me to twist that way instead of twisting any other way. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my fingers, I'm gonna grab my thumb and my index finger, and I'm gonna grab it right at the root, and I'm gonna do one nice firm twist to make sure all the hair, all the new growth is grabbed in nice and neat into the dread. And then I'm just gonna continue the process all the way down. A nice firm twist all the way down. And any excess product you do see on the dread, you can go ahead and just rub it down. Make sure it's nice and moisturized. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get that clip that I showed you guys before, and I'm gonna just set it right here, so that the twist stays nice and firm. Once it dries and the clip comes out, it should be able to maintain that twist with no help or hold, keeping it together. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the process on the next following dreads I have down on this row. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this section over here, I'm gonna rub the wax all through the root. Keep in mind, since he already has his dreads nice and formed, the platform for his boxes are initially already made. I'm only taking in any excess little pieces of hair that I see that should belong in the dread box itself. And just to help stabilize the dreads, I like to clip two together to make sure that it's keeping its shape. So we're gonna go ahead and twist this one up one more time, just to make it good. So we have two strands. I'm gonna go ahead and cross them over. So now that I have my bottom rows completed, I'm gonna go ahead and section off another set. The first method that I did show you guys, it was just a regular twist that I used with my fingers. This time around, I'm gonna show you the second method that I also use. Another crucial part of the process is to make sure that you guys keep your head in the position that your stylist leaves your head in. You don't wanna make any sudden movement like that.
My bad.
You don't want to mess up your parts. And then also, it's harder for the hairstylist to continuously have to shift and move your head the whole time if you keep moving while we're trying to do your dreads. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Murray's wax on this dread on the outside. Just to collect all the hair as stated previously. Then I'm gonna get that locking wax and run it through. And with the palm roll method, you're gonna wanna make sure you grab all the hair, because instead of starting at the root with this one, you're gonna use the palm of your hand. And the palm of your hand is way bigger than this dread. So you just need to make sure you grab all the hair to begin with so that the palm roll method goes exactly as planned. And take this left hand and place it at the top, and I'm gonna grab the dread with my thumb. Then I'm gonna take my second hand and I'm gonna put it right under that. And then I'm just gonna do a nice palm roll up so the dread does a nice twist. You see how it's forming like that? You do that nice big twist and it's already starting the process for you. You're gonna wanna do it a couple more times till it's nice and twisted at the root itself. And after doing that a couple, 3 or 4 times, you have that nice retwist look. All the hair is inside. And then if you have any excess product, go ahead and swipe it down the dread all the way through. And since these dreads down here are already stabilized with the clip, and this one doesn't have another friend to attach to at the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and clip it down here with these ones. gonna go ahead and break it down for you guys one more time with the palm roll method. Once again, make sure you get that wax at the root. Get every little flyaway of hair that you can. Then you're gonna go ahead and get that locking wax, run it through the remainder of the dread. Then you can go ahead and get ready to position your hands for the palm roll method. So put the left hand at the top and grab your dread with that left thumb. Place that right hand right under the dread. And then you can go ahead and start that palm roll in an upward motion. And then just rub down any excess product. Now I'm gonna go ahead and unclip this one, and we're gonna clip them together. With the two different methods, you can definitely see the different type of texture it does leave you with at the roots. With the palm roll, you get that nice sleek look. And then if you go ahead and look at the other ones with the just regular retwist with your fingers, it doesn't grab the hair as much as it initially should, but it still does the job. So for today's client, I'm gonna go ahead and just do the palm roll method all the way through, so we can have a nice finish like this all over the head. So this is a finished retwist look with the clip still in. Once you go ahead and do get to the top and finish the last few dreads, you're gonna wanna let this dry for at least 15 minutes. Yeah, 15-20 minutes. If you do have a blow dryer that will make the time go by faster, you can use that to go through the parts and blow dry the head to make the drying process faster. So we're gonna let this sit for a bit, and then we'll show you the finished product once it's done. So after that time of drying, you can go ahead and start taking your clips out. Once they're done, you can go ahead and put them in any protective style that you do like to style your dreads in, or you can just leave them hanging. For this client, he doesn't necessarily want a style done after this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and touch up the dreads that look like this by palm rolling it with some wax at the end, and then he's gonna be all set. Now we have a nice, neat dread all the way down. I'm gonna do the same process with this one right here. And then also you can see his ends, some of them do have a separation at the end. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do for him is I'm gonna twist into one, and then eventually the dread will grow together and these two will no longer be a separation. They'll be locked in together. This is where the hairpiece ends, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a black rubber band and just knot it up a couple times around this. Leave it up in a loop like this, or you can leave them hanging. And then we have that nice natural looking dread.